Thank you, Eddie, for joining us. We are super grateful to have you here. And, the purpose of this webinar is really just to learn about you and what you've learned in your vast industry experience selling trailers. Now at North Texas Trailers, that's where you're at. Can you go ahead and actually first off, just start off talking about how you got into the trailer industry?
Sure. I actually am an engineer by trade and have a degree in business as well, and it kind of carried me in many different directions. And actually got up to a point in my career when I was in corporate America that I was just traveling 52 weeks a year. And it was just became too much. It was, you couldn't have a home life. My wife would want to go on vacation. I'm like, oh no, it's another plane, it's another trip. So I was a silent investor in a heavy equipment refurbishing company and quit my corporate job, got into that full time, and was trying to figure out who my customers were because we were selling equipment at auction. And I noticed that about a third of my customers were buying trailers at auction to get whatever equipment they bought home. So we started selling trailers in auction, and then that turned into a full-time trailer business here in Dallas just to get me off of the road.
That's awesome. Now, what do you enjoy most about your role at North Texas Trailers?
I like the fact that I'm home every day. That was kind of the main goal, was to get off of the road. I love the variety. I have great people that work for me at all three of my locations. I like interfacing with them. And I just like the fact that, even though we're kind of in the low-tech trailer business, we do a lot of high-tech stuff. We build, trailers for, the Marines and the Air Force and municipalities. So there's still some technical stuff mixed in with, our normal trailers that we sell off of the lot. So it's a variety. I don't know what's going to happen every day. It's always different.
Yeah. And speaking of variety, you have 3 locations now. And for what it seems, efficiency is a huge part of your process at North Texas Trailers. How would you say that you keep all 3 locations running efficiently?
Well, there's 2 sides of that equation. One is our trailer sales side. So, Everlogic helps us a lot just from an inventory management standpoint. We can always look within the system and see what we got in stock at all 3 locations. Your flex views allow us to build real easy data mining, so that we can look at all Wells cargo in stock. We can look at just Wells cargo at one location. So that's on the sales side. That helps us keep everything running the same. We have a general manager that oversees all 3 of our locations, and he works for me. And so he's able to kind of put the North Texas trailer philosophy into each one of our stores and make sure all of our stores are running, in the same fashion. And then on the flip side of that is when we get into our service shops, we do a lot of service, and we do every service known. We don't shy away from changing roofs or aluminum skin or some of the things that some of my competitors stay away from. And we use the Everlogic tech tool to all of our techs log into and log out of jobs, so we can measure both their efficiency and their recovery rate, meaning how many hours a day are they billing while they're at the shop. So we use those tools to try to keep all of our processes in check, but also the same at each location.
That's awesome. And speaking of Everlogic and efficiency, how would you say your experience has been with Everlogic's integration with Quickbooks?
It's been very good. That's actually one of the things that pulled us towards Everlogic. We've been in business since 2007, and we started with just Quickbooks. And we found very quickly that we were in spreadsheet hell because QuickBooks could do a lot of stuff, but when it came to serialized inventory, we had 10 other spreadsheets that we used to track inventory, and it just became too much. So we went through a few different dealer management systems, but none of those integrated with QuickBooks. They had their own proprietary accounting system, and we just felt handcuffed. So when we met Mike and Everlogic and saw that y'all integrated with QuickBooks, we're like, oh, great. Because now we get the best of a dealer management system, but then it goes into QuickBooks, and we're very knowledgeable and have a lot of expertise in QuickBooks. So we're kind of got the best of both worlds, a great dealer management system, but then also an accounting system that we can manage and handle and have full control of.
Awesome. That's good to hear. And that integration really is so important to a lot of dealers, it seems.
Well, the other thing about the Everlogic integration is there's a mapping tool within Everlogic that allows us to map Everlogic accounts to QuickBook accounts, and it's very, very easy to use. It's very easy to go in and say, okay, we want to map this to a very specific QuickBooks account. So, for example, we just started doing a rental insurance program where we have a damage waiver insurance. We were able to go in and map that damage waiver insurance to a QuickBooks account so that now we see what kind of income and revenue we have coming in there. And it's if you want to map a new account, it's 2 or 3 minutes, you're done, and now it's flowing to QuickBooks.
Wow, that's good to hear. And now, obviously the past 2 years, the COVID-19 pandemic has really changed a lot for a lot of dealers all over the country. Would you say I'm sure you had to make a lot of bold decisions as a dealer when it comes to challenges with inventory, staffing, things like that. I know that you mentioned that you decided to stop making custom trailers because of the pandemic. Can you talk a little bit more about that decision and where that has left your business today?
Sure. That's actually a recent decision. Our business actually, we've never shied away from custom. We do a ton of custom work. We hold contracts with pretty much every municipality in Dallas-Fort Worth, and we build emergency response trailers, fire rescue trailers, command centers. We do a lot of stuff, both with local government and also with national government as well. And then we also build a lot of custom trailers for just our general customer, a custom car hauler or whatever it may be. And what we did initially is when the pandemic first hit, we had custom trailers on order. But when they came in, the manufacturers had increased our prices so much to the point that we had to deliver those trailers at a loss. And we accepted that loss, but only on a few trailers. And we implemented a program, and we actually built it into Everlogic, where we have a clause in our order form, our trailer order form, that says, "Hey, be aware, we're selling you this custom trailer. We got to build it, and this is an estimate of what the price is going to be. And if manufacturers pass on price increases to us, we'll show you the documentation where they hit us with a 6% increase or a 10% increase. And when we deliver your trailer, any price increases because they're coming in waves these days, will be passed on to you." And customers would sign it. They, say, "Yeah, I understand what's going on in the market." But when it came time to deliver that trailer, some of our manufacturers have 70% surcharges on us right now.
Wow.
So there's a possibility their trailer has gone up 70%. That didn't happen in these cases, but even 15 or 20%, customers would say, "Well, wait a second, that's not what I expected." And they would, they'd be mad at us. So then we'd get bad Google reviews and stuff like that. So unfortunately, what we've had to do is kind of go away from our core strength, which is quoting and building, custom trailers, just because the price increases are so rampant right now that even though customers say they're willing to, take the price increase, in reality, they really are. So we've just quit doing custom ordering of any type. We're selling stock inventory. Now we do have some really long-term good customers that, that we've been able to talk to and just say, "Hey, we'll continue doing this for you, but here's the deal. Here's what's happening." And so I wouldn't say that we've gotten out of the custom business, but we've had to pull it way back and change our philosophy.
Right. And another problem that a lot of, not just dealerships, but businesses around the country have faced due to the pandemic is staffing issues. Have you experienced any of that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that has been, and it's different than it used to. I think every employer deals with staffing issues and trying to find the right people. But in pre-COVID, you would have a number of people to choose from. Maybe you would make the right decision, maybe you wouldn't. It's just kind of a crapshoot, sometimes. But it's totally changed now. I mean, we've had resumes or job openings and postings both on our website and on Indeed and other types of recruitment sites, and we just can't get anybody to apply. And those that do apply, or poodle groomers or something other than what we're looking for. And just it's been a real challenge trying to fill positions, but just because just the talent's not there. And the talent that is there is not looking for a job. And we're hoping that changes, but it still continues to be a huge challenge for us to find good people.
Yeah, it seems like that's not just for dealerships, but a lot of businesses are struggling to find people to work for them as well, the right people. Another question about, how you've learned from the pandemic, what would you say you've learned the most from this experience, from this pandemic, from a business standpoint?
I think mainly whether it be with trailer vendors or parts suppliers and we had actually implemented a lot of this prior to COVID, but I think you cannot be single threaded these days. And COVID has really highlighted that. You've got to have multiple sources for cargo trailers. You've got to have multiple sources for utility trailers, for jacks, for couplers, for lights. If you're single threaded, it's really going to put you in a bad position. We've actually, through COVID, we've made a lot of volume purchases on parts. Used to, we would just kind of order parts on demand, but because of part shortages, we've actually made some alliances with companies that supply our suppliers, and we've been buying a pallet load of parts so that we could, even if it sits in the back warehouse for a while, at least we're not on a back order situation where we've got trailers, sitting in the lot waiting on parts. So that's helped us a lot. So it's just changed our buying habits, I guess you would say, since COVID has hit, both on the trailer side and the parts and service side.
Definitely. And I know you mentioned the Everlogic mobile app earlier, but I kind of wanted you to touch on it again. How would you say the Everlogic mobile app has positively impacted your technicians?
We have a tech bonus program that we have in place, and it's helped us, be able to bring in technicians even through, the COVID times where people are choosing not to work. So what Everlogic Tech app has allowed us to do is we can track what we call recovery rates, which means our technicians are here for 8 hours. How much of that time are they recovering? So we're able to track how many build hours they do on a daily basis, and we use it both as a motivational tool for our technicians. We keep boards posted; they always know where they're at. And we actually use the tech application to be able to track that recovery rate. And so if a technician has a 50% recovery rate, meaning they build 4 hours a day throughout the month, they don't qualify for a bonus. If they can achieve 65% recovery rate, they'll achieve X dollars per billable hour of bonus through the month. So it's a motivation for them to produce more hours and push more billable hours through their shop. Now that's kind of, you also have to put some checks and balances in that, because we don't want our technicians putting out a lot of work, but it's not high quality work. So, if we have people coming back, well, then that negatively affects the bonus, but that it's invaluable to be able to have our techs clock into and clock out of jobs and know how many billable hours they're getting on a daily, weekly, monthly basis so that we can run our tech bonus program.
That's amazing. Wow. Now, what advice would you give to someone who is trying to stand out in the trailer industry, who's trying to keep with the times, what kind of advice would you give to someone who's really just trying to stand out?
I think you just have to have high integrity. That's how we run our dealerships. You have to do what you say and say what you do. We build custom trailers. We try to sell the highest quality trailers that are out there. Do we sell an economy line of trailer? Yes. But we try to qualify that and let the customer know, hey, this is an economy trailer. You're going to get an economy trailer. It's like buying a cheap t-shirt, as compared to a t-shirt you get at Dillard's. You get what you pay for. So I would just say, you just have to have integrity in this market and stand behind your product and make sure your customers are taken care of. And if you do that, good things will happen.
Yeah, integrity is everything, especially as a business. Is there any other advice you'd like to give to our audience today? Like I told you before, our audience is primarily trailer dealers. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I know you're interviewing me here just as a trailer dealer, but I will say, and I know that this is not a marketing video for the Everlogic product, but that's the one thing I would tell people. We've been through a myriad of different dealer management systems. And really at the end of the day, the more effective your dealer management system is, the more effective you'll be able to run your dealership. And it doesn't matter if you're looking back at what's sold in the past. That was the limitation we had with Quickbooks. We couldn't really get that data, but within Everlogic, I can see my sales of specific models year to date over history, 3-year history. And like I said, I know this isn't an Everlogic sales video, but my dealership has grown incredibly since we put Everlogic into play. Because like I said, it's the best of both worlds. It's a great dealer management system that's very flexible and very user friendly, but it also integrates with Quickbooks that we can pull data from both sides. So, I would just say, hey, whatever your reporting tool is, it's really kind of where the rubber hits the road, and it kind of determines your success in this market. And if you don't have a good dealer management system, you need one.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for adding that. We really appreciate you just being here today, but also just, working with you over the years. And we wish you all the success, Eddie. And just thank you for taking the time today. I know a lot of people will hear what you said and really, take it as valuable experiences to hear from.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to
talk
with you today.